Okay. Ever thought you were a great leader only to realize your team sees things a bit differently than you do? Well, I've been there too. Actually, one of the times that I vividly remember this is when I first started my business and I had my first client and was going over all these things that she needed to be doing in her marketing to grow her business as a business coach and taking all the things that I had learned and I had done in my own business and had done in corporations and pulling it over. And she'd just look at me and she'd go, none of those words made sense. And it was the best lesson that I ever learned about leading because of the fact that I was able to go, okay, cool. I need to find a way to simplify this, to make it more common language, to use stories, analogies, and pulling the things that I did when I worked at Disney training cast members and pull them into how I was training people how to use their marketing, how to grow a business. What did it look like to take all of these different pieces? Because we know that anytime that we're doing any of these things, there's a lot of moving pieces in this. And so I want you to think about this from this idea that I get told all the time called the curse of knowledge. And so when we talk about the brain science perspective of this is the idea that people know as much of the things that I do. And that's not true. I can be very clear in what I'm saying and still not have clarity for the person who's listening. And so, how do I go back to that idea of Brene Brown, clear is kind, which is a value that I live by, and create more clarity for the person who's listening to me so that they understand what I'm saying? So that as a leader, I'm coming in and going, here's the directive, here's what I'm expecting of you. And I know that you understand this. This is something that we learn in active listening, active communication, is this idea of I'm going to sit here and just wait and listen and then repeat back to you what I've heard so that we're on the same page. So the first thing that you guys can do today is when you're giving directives, when you're trying to get to that next thing, what is that thing that they're repeating back to you? Is it exactly what you thought? If there's something that wasn't clear and they repeated it back differently, did you clarify those moments? Because with the curse of knowledge, we have a cognitive bias that assumes that others share the same level of knowledge. So if they don't have that knowledge, how do we bring in understanding so that the jobs get done? So, like I said, clarity doesn't mean understanding. And we don't want our team to just nod along of like, okay, yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm. Everybody's had that moment where people are just like, yeah. And then you're like, what did I actually say? And they can't give you that information back. So making sure that they can do that and collaborating on communication so that you know that the message is getting across. So one of the things that when we look at the research, this is actually a huge deal as well, because workplace communication statistically it shows that 86% of employees and executives cite the lack of effective communication and collaboration and communication as the main cause of workplace failures. So if communication, seen as a soft skill, seen as something that people just pick up on, is 86% of the reason that initiatives are failing, wouldn't that be something that you want to do more of? So making sure that you're communicating more clear, more concise, and not just going for clarity, but going for understanding so that they really seeps in. Like every time I think about the word understanding, I always think about if you have dew on the ground and you put water on top of it, it all seeps into the soil. We really want it to be ingrained in the understanding of what they're doing next so that they can move to where they want to do. But on the other hand, teams who communicate effectively can increase their productivity by as much as 25%. So we're seeing this time and time again that clarity, understanding, communication, these are vital for the success of your team as a leader. And I would love to have a conversation with you and see how we can create more communication in your leadership. And for those leaders that you're promoting into the next piece, if you're a leader who has been promoted and is like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, I'd love to have a one-on-one conversation with you. You can either DM me or you can set up a one-on-one call at kabrinaashley.com/strategy-call. And I will see you all tomorrow on Kabrina Unscripted.